We are with Colleen Clancy from Disney on Ice, and I'm so excited you're coming to town. It has been too long since you've been here. So welcome, we're waiting. What are we going to see? What's the performance this time?
We are so excited to come back to Sioux City. We are going to be bringing Disney on Ice's Into the Magic to Sioux City from February 17th through the 20th at the Tyson Event Center. And we're going to see with Into the Magic, it's a spectacular show. You have stories ranging from classics like Cinderella to more recent and modern stories like Coco and Frozen. So
Oh,
it's just
wow.
it's a show for everyone, and you can connect with all of the characters and go on their adventures with them. And it's just really exciting to be coming back and bringing live shows back.
So how long have you been with Disney on Ice?
I have been with Disney on Ice for about 7 years, and I've been
7
skating
years.
for like 23 years, I think.
20. Wow. Okay, what got you into skating? And now it's big Olympic stuff, and I'm sure you watched those
Yeah.
ones on TV and you said, "Oh, I must do this." But what got you involved?
Yeah, actually, my mom was a figure skater, and she got me and my sister into it when we were really young. It didn't really take with my sister. She loved the dresses and the performance of everything. I was definitely a little bit more into the technical side of it, which is funny now because I just love the aspect of live performances. But yeah, my mom got us started when we were I was 5 and my sister was 7, and we were skating just for fun, and then it became kind of more of a competitive thing. I skated in college and then continued on with Disney on Ice after college. So I've just been doing it my entire life.
Was there a time when you said, "I want to be an Olympic skater"? Was that part of it?
I think a lot of us all started with that goal in mind, and as you develop as a skater, your goals change. But everyone I think wanted to be an Olympian at some point, and I love the Olympics being on because it's so inspiring. And we were watching it just last night, and it's inspiring, and it makes me excited to go to work and get to perform for these audiences who are now even more excited to see figure skaters in person.
But when you see what they're doing, do you go, "Oh man, quadruples," and then they're talking
Yeah.
quintuples? Is
Yeah.
this possible?
I think it is. I've seen obviously all the quads, but I haven't seen a quintuple yet. I would love it, but it's not possible for me, I don't think, but for them, they are incredible athletes, and I absolutely love watching it. And I'm just excited for it to be on. It gives me something to look forward to.
Well, you also provide hope for people who say there is no life after the Olympics. That's
It
it.
absolutely. Yeah, so the beautiful thing about Disney on Ice is it has allowed a lot of us as athletes to continue our love for the sport in a more performance-based aspect. You're gonna see, especially with this show, you're gonna see some incredible athletes. Rapunzel and Flynn are gonna do an aerial silk routine as
Oh,
as
wow.
they fly off and go on an adventure. Because you're not only gonna see just figure skating, you're gonna see other incredible aspects to the show. But it is cool to experience how skating doesn't end after competing. You can keep doing it forever as long as you want to be doing it. So I'm just really grateful to have the opportunity to keep going with this sport that I love.
On the Olympics, they talked about some of these skaters are performance skaters. And they said it's fun to watch them because they are so, entertaining. But what is the
Yeah.
secret to that? What is that? Because that's what you are as a performance skater.
Yeah, so that is such a huge aspect to skating in general is the performance. I mean, you're skating to music, or you're skating to some, like, you're telling a story, and that's what Disney on Ice is. You're bringing these stories right into people's lives in their hometowns, which is so so special. The performance aspect is really incredible to be able to play these iconic characters that people see on their TVs and see growing up. And when we bring these characters to life in person for kids, for adults, you really see it on their faces how they are so excited to be in the same place as these iconic characters. And it's really, really special.
How technical does it get? I mean, are you doing You're not doing the quads. I know that, but
No, but you are gonna see, yes, we have so many talented athletes. You're gonna see other sorts of jumps, doubles, triples, things like that. Lots of different spins. We have incredible pair skaters who are doing lifts, overhead lifts. So the girl's way up here, and it's really, really cool to be a part of such a strong, talented group. And the thing that I love about Disney on Ice and growing into a performer, you work alongside athletes and performers from all over the world, and you come together on this one show, and you guys work together and you learn from each other. So you develop more, even more as you're older and as you're learning new disciplines in skating, and you get to learn from people from every background.
now I'm assuming that you play more than one character in the show, right?
So in this show, I play Belle, and I absolutely love getting the opportunity to portray the role of Belle and bring what she was. She might have been my favorite character growing up.
Really?
Yeah, and so it's really cool and very full circle to be able to bring this character who's so kind and warm-hearted and just a very, very special character to me, and to be able to bring her to audiences. I'm very, very grateful.
So how do you prepare? Do you watch the movie like a jillion times and then
Yeah.
kind of
Oh,
try to
of
find what
course.
their mannerisms are, or how do you do that?
Yeah, we do. I watch the movie. We learn from each other. We get development training, just as you would in, when you see characters in person. So it's really special, and we put a lot of work into being the character, and upholding the integrity of the character as well. So anything down very little movements, you'll see have a meaning behind them, and it's important because then you are truly bringing the character to life.
Do you get that big gold dress? Is that in this or not?
You are gonna see a very nice transformation and it's a pretty quick transformation, I might say, as Belle goes from her iconic village ensemble and her blue dress to her ball gown, and it is really a cool moment to see.
Is it heavy?
No, it's definitely skating skatable, I guess is the
Okay,
word I would use.
sure.
So because we are doing a pair number, so you are going to see overhead lifts and things like that, and
Oh,
it's
wow. Had you
it's
done that
really
before?
growing up, no, I was not a pair skater. I actually was a solo skater, and then I did synchronized skating, which you won't see in the Olympics, but maybe someday. But I had never done pair skating until I joined Disney on Ice, and I have to tell you, it is such a blast, and it's an exact example of us developing and continuing to develop our skills as we work with this company and try to bring more characters to life.
What is like the routine that you get in to be ready for this? Because I'm sure you just don't say, well, we're going to go tonight and we'll do the show and that's it. There must be
We'll
a
see what
lot.
happons.
What's an ice skater routine like? Like, in
like
terms of
a like
working
a
out.
workout routine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all have our own kind of workout regimen. I think everybody is a little bit different. What I like to do on the days off, because we don't always have access to ice, I love to run. I love to run for just sometimes it's so fun to be able to run and go out and see whatever city you're in. It's a really cool way to explore in new places. But I love to run. I do yoga to try to stay flexible and to just like kind of treat you're putting your body through a lot. It's a lot of hard work, and so you need to balance it out with some love too. So I think yoga is really good for that. And I know a lot of people do have their own style, like lifting and just staying active in general, I think is really important.
You said you did ice skating in college.
Yeah, I went to Miami University. At the time, it was one of two varsity synchronized skating programs in the country, and it still might be two. And it was such an incredible sport to be a part of. And it was very, very cool to take what I experienced as a solo skater and then become a member of a team. And that was, and I see a lot of similarities with Disney on Ice because there are about 45 cast members. And so that sounds like a lot of people, but it becomes a small, tight-knit group very quickly.
And you
And
do group scenes too. I'm sure
yeah,
at
exactly.
the end, you need to be pretty synchronized with those kind of.
Yes, it really translates to skating to counts and skating alongside other people, and being in really good unison. So I think that really helped me to get to where I am today, and I'm super grateful.
So how well did the team do? Were you good?
I I like to say we were, when I was there 20 I yes, 2010 to 2014, my team did go to the World Championships one time, and we were as high as second in the nation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it was, I have to say, competing at the World Championships, which that year in 2013 was in Boston, and to represent the US on home ice was, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever been part of. So
So then what makes you say, well, what was your major? What were you going to be?
my major was actually international studies and my minor was political science. And it's really interesting because it has translated. I have traveled to 45 different countries.
Oh, wow.
And so international studies lines right up, and a lot of those, I would say most of those countries I traveled to because of skating, whether it was competitive or with Disney on Ice. And it's really interesting to have been a student athlete and learned a lot of the skills that I implement today and have been, and getting to work alongside people from so many different countries has really come in handy because you learn to communicate with people who we don't all speak the same language as fluently as, all Americans do or whatever. So I'm really I'm really grateful. It's funny how I don't think I would have expected to be doing what I'm doing, but you never
And
know.
it worked. It's good, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I wouldn't
What
trade anything.
what don't we realize about skating? Is there something that we don't, I love to see it, but I don't even think I can stand up on ice, much less, turn around.
Oh, so I would say with skating, because I have, I also when I'm home I coach, and that's I absolutely love coaching. I would say what people don't realize about skating is it's I think people underestimate the level of athleticism, excuse me. You see these athletes in the Olympics doing quads, and you see these figure skaters, like men lifting women above their heads and sustaining that across the entire
And
ice.
then
I think
wrapping them around like it's like,
it's
holy shit,
yeah,
I don't know what to
throwing them
do.
into the air.
Yeah, I would not want to be throwing. That's another thing that I think would be.
I love it. I love it. It's so much fun.
Is it cold? We think about you're on ice all the time. Are you like constantly freezing or what?
It depends. I think like regular ice rinks, especially now, I'm not in regular ice rinks as often, so I find them to be much more cold. When we are in Sioux City, we're at the Titan Event Center. I don't expect it to be as cold when we're in other venues. I prefer it to be a little bit warmer. I will be honest. I'm a little spoiled now, I think, but you get used to it. As growing up, I would skate in tank tops every day, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, aren't you so cold?" No, you're working hard and your blood's pumping, so you get used to it.
Last night they said there was one skater who didn't get his shirt, and so he just skated shirtless while he was
What?
practicing. And you go, what? Shirtless on
Yeah.
the ice? I don't believe
Yep.
it.
You
It's
definitely don't want to fall down and slide across the ice. You do get ice burn if you're not covered in that
ice
way.
burn is what happens. Is that what it is? And
I
then
That's what we called it.
you don't lick the ice either, or your tongue will stick to it.
So I've heard. I haven't tested that theory yet though. So
Okay, good to know. Well, this is something for all family members, right? It isn't just something where, oh,
absolutely.
kids will like it. I think adults would get something out of it too. Is that right, or am I
It's
wrong?
absolutely no. Disney on Ice is into the magic. Like I said, it has classic characters like Cinderella and more modern characters like Elsa and Anna from Frozen and Miguel from Coco. But what you also have, like I mentioned, Rapunzel and Flynn doing their aerial silk routine. So you're going to see acrobats, which are flying through the air, and you see special effects that are incredible, pyrotechnics that are so exciting and so unexpected. And the costumes, I think the costumes are something that you don't realize until you see them in person, how detailed and how special they really are, and how much work and care is put into them, and a little bit of Disney magic always. So
Oh,
you
wow.
might expect something, but then when you see it in person, I think it's even more special. And to just be in the audience at a live show, I think there's nothing like it.
You know, we were hoping you were going to be here a couple of years ago. And then we had a little thing called the coronavirus pandemic that got in the way. What was that time like for you?
Yeah, it was, I mean, for everyone, it was so hard, especially for people in live events. I personally was off the ice from March. I came back to work in October, beginning of October of 2020. So I was one of the lucky ones. I came back for the very first, what we called kind of the COVID bubble tour. And it was hard. It had its own challenges. But for me, that time off the ice was the longest I had been off the ice, I think, ever in my career. I'm from Michigan, and I drove down. My brother and sister-in-law live in Indiana. So I drove down to Indiana in July, and I stayed with them for a couple days just because their ice rinks were open. So I got to skate twice in that time period.
Did you
It
ever think
was
that ice skating was going to disappear for you? Did you say,
we all I think, as performers and crew members and staff with all live entertainment, I think we all questioned if we were going to be able to come back. And it was a long time, so I know a lot of people went on different journeys, and for me, I considered it, but there was some part of me where I was just saying I need to hold out a little bit longer. And I'm so glad that I did, because now what we're doing, we had one show open in October of 2020, and now I think we have 5 or 6 shows touring the US and one show in Europe. So it's really, we're coming back. It's slow, but you can feel it in the audience at every single performance, that people have been without this for so long that they're 10 times more excited to be in an audience and feel that energy and see characters, see Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald in person.
right?
And they probably didn't think it would be possible for them anytime soon either. So
So
we're
how
all
is it for
excited.
you? You feel like, oh, it's like starting again, or what is it like?
Yeah, it really is. And I'm just really grateful to have been asked to be a part of these shows again, because I could have maybe as we say, gotten off the road and continued and tried to go into something else, maybe something more along the lines of an office style job. And I think about it now, and I don't think I could do it, at least not at this point. And as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing, which I think I'll never stop enjoying it. I'm just going to keep doing it and keep skating and keep performing. So I'm super grateful to be doing it.
Oh. Well, how good is Mickey at skating? Is he pretty good?
Honestly, Mickey is very good at skating. He puts us all to shame, I have to say. He moves pretty quick out there.
He can do everything, can't he? It's just
He can.
how frustrating. You tell him that. I no wonder Donald is the way he is, right?
I will tell him. I'll say we're all a little bit jealous that you can just do anything, and we're here to watch. We're supporting him.
Is Belle your favorite character, or do you have others?
I think I'm a little bit biased right now, I have to say, but Belle right now would definitely be my favorite character. But what I love about this show is that you have characters. On this show, it's really incredible to see some of these characters. Miguel, I think, is such an inspiring character to watch, and to watch Miguel's performance is spectacular. He is like an acrobat on the ice, and
Oh,
it
wow.
is so fun to watch. So I have to say, I love Miguel. I love Rapunzel, Elsa and Anna. Oh my goodness, I love their sister dynamic. I have an older sister, and I find that when I see Elsa and Anna interacting together, I always think about my sister, and
Is
we
she
all
the
have our
Elsa?
fights.
She's the
Sorry.
Elsa, right?
She might, I guess she is, because I'm the younger one, and I guess she is, but
Yeah,
I always think about, we sisters fight, but then they always come back together, right? So it's such a special bond.
unless they freeze you out.
Yeah, this is true. I'll have to talk to her about
Yeah,
that.
you gotta watch that one. Well, we are so excited to have you coming. I can hardly wait. I have been waiting for skating for so long. You cannot believe it. So just
Yay.
I will be there and I will be cheering with everybody because I can hardly wait to see ice skaters back on the ice. So keep
I'm
it up.
so excited. Thank you so much for having me. We're so excited to come to Sioux City at the Tyson Event Center, February 17th through the 20th. I cannot wait. And I really hope it's still 50 degrees there when we get there.
We'll make sure it happens, or else we'll
Thank you.
meet up in Tyson, right?
Perfect.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.